In this video, we're going to start by creating the legs for our stool. We'll actually have a series of 3 or 4 videos that are going to show the total completion of the stool. But in this one, the first video, we'll work with the legs. So the first thing I wanted to do is pick the selection tool. It's up here. It says select on it. And you will select the person that's standing there and delete them. It just makes your life easier as you work on the drawing. The next thing we're going to do is pick the rectangle tool, and we'll draw a rectangle that is 3/4 of an inch, or 0.75, by, and we put a comma after that 0.75, by 8. And we'll put those dimensions in, and we see a tiny little mark right here. So what we're going to do is actually fit that object to the screen, or it says zoom extents. So we'll zoom to the extents of the screen, and now I'm just kind of zooming out and panning down as needed to get that object where I would like to. It'll just make the drawing a lot easier at this point. So then the next thing, we are going to use the push-pull tool, and we're going to grasp this object, and we are going to actually pull it up 8 inches. So the push-pull goes up or down, and we'll just select 8 in the distance and press return. So now we have an object that is 8 inches by 8 inches, actually, and 3/4 of an inch thick, just like your block of wood for the leg. The next thing we're going to do is select the circle, and with that selection tool, you see that automatically we'll find the endpoints and the center points, midpoints, of a particular line. So what we want to do is find the midpoint and draw that circle out. And we are actually going to make a radius of 2 inches, which it actually was showing there under radius. So I can just pick 2. Then I'm going to use the selection tool. Select the lower part of that circle and delete it. So we actually have an arc, or a half circle. And then the next thing we're going to do is select the push-pull tool, and we are going to just get rid of that leg. All right, we're ready then to actually make this into what we call a component. Right at the present time, this leg has several different lines. It's all a matter of several different lines just kind of put together to make this solid object. So we want to make sure it'll be much easier if we make it into a solid object before we copy it. The first thing that we need to look out for, well, the first thing I'd like to show you is that if you were to select a line, for example, here, so we select this line and delete it, then a portion of this goes away. So that's the reason we want to turn this into one solid object. And so what we'll do is we will start our selection on the right, and we are actually going to make this into what is called a component. So we will make a component, call it leg, and we'll be all set. So the next thing we want to do is pan this down, rotate it around, maybe pan it over just a little bit, and we're going to quickly copy this and move it with the move tool. So we'll press Control-C for copy, and we will move it, and I grabbed it on the front of the object, and be sure to grab it on the front of the object, and then you'll see a red line, and you'll also see a distance, and we're going to move that a distance of 12.25 inches. And we now have our 2 legs all set. At this point, it would be a good idea to do a save as, and we'll call it legs. And we're all set. In the next video, we are going to make the braces.